Teeg was set up by Yes Education in partnership with OCR, the Oxford, Cambridge and RSA Examinations Board, with the vision to create an entrepreneurial menu of tools and resources for education from teachers to students. Teeg is becoming a central hub for everything entrepreneurial for education and aims to bring everything entrepreneurial together in one place for schools and colleges. We've had 20 teachers attend the Enterprising Teachers Training course. Those 20 teachers have come far and wide from across 10 colleges in very different geographical locations, and the fact that they've managed to network with each other, share successes that they've had and also challenges, the feedback that we've had is that that has been one of the most integral parts of the training course. We had two fantastic trainers deliver the two-day programme. We had Isla Balacheska, who's a Yes Education Director and our Head of Training.
More than 500,000 new businesses were created in 2013, which is quite something. And Britain now has 4.5 million self-employed people.
We had Professor Alison Price, who's Director of Educator Development for NCEE, the National Centre for Entrepreneurship Education.
But I would personally like to commend our pitching under a tree. We were working really hard, standing up, pitching in fantastic surroundings. It looked amazing. Some of the people are pitching in a lift that had a board table and chairs around.
Good afternoon, Principal. May I call you Elaine? Principal. While I have you here, I've got an idea I want to pitch to you. With the new faculty structures, I think it would be really good to have some kind of celebration event, sort of maybe a celebration of enterprise.
You will not go wrong with this. Can you imagine Ofsted? We've had a terrible Ofsted this year. You know what, we've got to improve. And this will take us grade 2, maybe grade 1. You know what it is? It's exploiting our talent.
I've come from a training event. We've only got 2 minutes. Listen, I want you to, you're all out, alright? I want you to close your eyes, and when the music stops, I want you to open them. Okay, so close your eyes now. All of you, Alice, all of you. Right, all I want you to do is 3 o'clock roughly. I want you to think about what you've done today and the most important thing that you did.
Enterprising Teachers, the training course, has been funded by ultimately the Department for Business, but they work alongside an organisation called the Education and Training Foundation, who have made this 2-day pilot for enterprising teachers possible.
So the first thing you have to be able to do is spot opportunities. So if you go to the metaphor of waves, this is my picture of an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is like a surfer. They're in the surf. I don't know if anybody's been surfing. They're in the surf, and there's a trick. And I can't do it because I'm not a good surfer. There's a trick when you look back to see which wave is the one that's going to be worth riding. Because there's lots of waves that appear like that, but by the time they get to you, they peter out. I've learned this because I've tried it twice and been useless both times. Because to get up on the wave is what you have to do. You have to spot the wave. You have to be good at spotting waves. And then the reason you have to be good at spotting waves is because you've got to paddle ahead of the wave reaching you, so that you've got momentum to rise up on the energy of the wave. And then of course you've got to have a skill set to get up on the board and then to go to the end. And so one of the critical differences between entrepreneurs and people who aren't entrepreneurs is that they see things differently.
In my experience, there are teachers who continue to excel, and there are others who look like they're bored with it and shouldn't be doing it anymore. And I think this would give them a fresh new lease of life. So I would definitely recommend it. And I myself, I'm going to try and do some training myself. So.
These people coming with different experience, that's one of the things I picked up. So like specialisms, and we've learned from each other. So the delegates, if you like, have learned a lot from each other as well. And it's my learning style, if there's such a thing. I learned that way. So for me, it worked. I highly recommend it.
I think it's critical that future generations learn to make the most of their potential. The world's changing.
You need to be much more flexible, able to spot opportunities, act on the things that you see. And that's really what entrepreneurship is about. So I came to give a flavour of what it's like to not really have a career, but to be entrepreneurial in terms of what you do every day.
So I think the future now is we will evaluate the programme, we will see how it needs to change and adapt. There's 20 teachers from 10 different colleges who have shown a huge appetite for this area of work, so I would hope it can be rolled out. It's funded by the ETF, the Education Training Foundation, so let's see what more on this can happen with entrepreneurs and with teachers in FE colleges.